Welcome back to Daytime. We are going to stay on the topic of Diwali, but it's really important to remember, that this is a kind of event, a festival that happens all over the world.
Right.
And so people want to make sure that it's being celebrated properly, like they would celebrate it back at home here in Canada. And that's what our next guests are here to talk about. They are from the DhamalMasti Group, and they're all about, I guess that means actually being happy and frolicking and all about happy things.
Makes sense. I'm in a good mood.
Exactly. They want to make sure the festivals are being celebrated properly and happily everywhere. So we have Sandeep and Nilesh here with us today to talk about that. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing?
Good. Very good.
All right.
So why don't we start off just by talking a little bit about your group and kind of what I said, but maybe in a bit more detail.
Sure. I'll take a stab at that.
Sure.
Well, as the name suggests, the DhamalMasti Group. It's about fun and frolic, really. We try to stay away from serious stuff because we believe we got to watch news for serious stuff.
Yeah, there's enough serious out there.
Yeah, exactly. So we try to celebrate our festivals like we used to celebrate them back home. Where we didn't worry about being politically correct and all that stuff, right? We just went out and celebrated, which means getting together with family, friends, good food, and basically celebrating it with kids and family, seniors, everybody together, and basically making sure that we have enough fun in all of that.
That's awesome. So we actually just got to taste test some sweets in our previous segment. They were delicious.
Very good,
What is your favorite sweet when it comes to Diwali?
Well, my favorites are the cashew nut, I would say cakes, but they are called burfis in our language.
Are they like the circle ones?
Yeah, they can be circle, they can be diamond, they can be any shape.
Any shape.
Okay, awesome.
They make it any shape.
Right,
And
right.
it is made out from a cashew, sometimes it is from the anjeer, and it is a different kind of, basically it is a dairy product.
Right.
And they mix to the dairy product and make a different shapes with the different ingredients.
And now we're in a day and age in which like we're all trying to eat healthy and everybody's all focused on eating green, watching the waistline. I love how this celebration is just we're eating sweets and that's how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. This is a few days to not care about anything.
Right, and then how much sense does that make? I mean, sweets make you happy, right? Sugar, come on, who doesn't like sugar out there, right? So
yeah, all the good things are not so good for you apparently.
I know, right? But hey.
No, but for these 4 days, we don't care about that as much.
Right.
Obviously, we care a little bit, but then
you care,
the
but
importance is to have fun, just indulge.
Right, of course. Now, what about the significance of Diwali, and especially here in Canada? How has that progressed?
Well, as far as significance is concerned, I mean, it dates back centuries, really. Diwali as a festival, it's a festival of lights, and really victory of good over evil, victory of light over darkness. That's why the word Diwali, or it came from Deepavali, which really means light. And light, and it's just not to have a light, but it's more of your inner light that you have to look at. And we kind of symbolize that by lighting little diyas or little candles.
It's beautiful. It really is. So Nilesh, is there I know there's a lot of food already that we just talked about. What about, is there dancing involved in this event?
Yeah. See what happened that like when we do a Diwali party, we of course do a dancing. It's always the fun, like a Dhamal doesn't go without the dancing, right? And Diwali, what happened that Diwali basically we go with the food, we distribute the sweets, we do the fireworks.
What is this clip we're looking at here? There's some dancing on the screen.
Yeah, this is our last year's party, and these are our kids. And the important thing that we've done as the DhamalMasti Group is to pass on the legacy, pass on the importance of these festivals that we used to celebrate to our kids. And this is our kids celebrating all the festivals of India in a little 10-minute skit, where we had them choreographed to some songs and dance where they were actually acting in a skit, and that's how they would get to know really how to celebrate and why do we celebrate this festival.
Why is it important that you make sure that your kids keep the tradition going, right? Like, it is pretty important.
Yeah, definitely it is, because I mean, when we migrate to Canada, and we've adopted this as our home, our country now, but it's also very important for us that our next generation doesn't really lose the connection that we have with our homeland.
Right.
And I think in this day and age, if you can bring up a child that has values from both parts of the world, just helps them make a better human being, I think, at the end of the day.
And a better understanding of different cultures and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, are you impressed with the actual reception that Diwali gets here in the Peel region?
Yeah, see what happened that the kids, they get a culture over here, as well as the Sandeep told that we are trying to get the good culture of us which they should implement over here. So both the combination always help them, and this is what we are trying to do.
Right. Gotcha.
Wow, that's wonderful. Why don't we talk a little bit about some of the other activities that your group is involved in as well? You do other festivals as well, not just Diwali.
Sure. Well, first off, I mean, our group is really made up of 10 of us together, which came together. We are just two of us representing us today.
Right.
Okay.
But it's a group of 10 of us who came together, started very modestly in sort of doing apartment parties, and which is kind of rolled into bigger parties now. Just because the community is growing and the community needs somebody to really help them celebrate. You want to be together with family and friends. So we do Navratri, which is sort of a mass dance party that you can imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
We do Navratri. We just had a few weeks ago in Brampton where we had about 1,400 people packed into the hall, all dressed traditional Indian clothes, and just dancing the night away.
Wow, that sounds like a group I want to be involved in.
seriously.
It's always happy and dancing and
Yep.
food.
Yeah,
I mean, you
as
can't
I
go
said,
wrong.
we really try hard to stay away from the serious stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, do you
And-
well, that's what was getting to my next question now. In the series of everything that happens in today's world and like
Right.
everything that we go through, everything we hear on the news, how important is it that we remember days like Diwali?
It is very important because, as I said initially, you know, it symbolizes the victory of good over evil, and
Right.
I think that's one thing that is much needed in the world today, in a way of peace, right? Like you really want the light, you want the peace, you want the eternal bliss that we
Right.
all seek. But at the end of the day, you also need to celebrate, and however you can celebrate and forget about the bad days or bad things that are happening out there for even if for a few hours that you're at a party, even for
Right.
a few hours that you are celebrating with friends over a dinner table, anything that you can do for that, we're up for that.
It's a time to kick back and relax and enjoy.
Enjoy your
As much as
family.
Good
Yeah.
and
over
friends.
evil.
Yeah.
I'm all
Good.
about
Yeah.
that.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So if people want some more information about your group, you actually have a website they can go to. Is that
That's
correct?
definitely right.
DhamalMasti?
We have a website,
Yeah.
DhamalMastiGroup.com.
She loves saying it now, eh? Now
I
that she
know.
has the hang of it.
Yeah, she'll get it by the end of the
She'll
day.
get
By the
it.
time we leave, she'll be
No,
already.
she'll be a
I'll be
pro,
a pro.
right?
Then she'll be ready to come in our all programs.
Exactly, and then she
Yeah,
could be
that'd be fun.
helping you guys out.
No, definitely. So we have a website, we have a Facebook fan page, we have the Twitter, and we have all the social media channels. But the important thing again is, as a group, we don't really have a membership. We don't
Right.
charge anybody to come to our event.
could just participate if they
As a
want.
membership, we just have an event, and we have a ticket price,
And that's
which
it.
is heavily subsidized by many of our sponsors in the community that are very great. So
Thank
you
you
know,
so much
yeah.
to the
Very
both
much.
of you for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Happy Diwali to both of you.
Happy
And that's
Diwali to you.
Sunday, November 7th. That's at the Pale Banquet Hall, and that's located in Mississauga. We'll have the information up on the board. Stay tuned. Lots more to come on DayTime.
Thank
It's
you.
Diwali.